Victims of sex crimes and abuse now have a new champion in their corner. Deputy Inspector Michael King, now the commander of the NYPD's Special Victims Unit, which has undergone a massive overhaul during the last 2 years, and they are not done yet. Officer King joins us this morning to explain the changes that are yet to come. So good morning to you, sir, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
And congrats, by the way, on the new job. You've been on this job in this new position for 3 weeks. So let me ask you first and foremost, how's it going so far?
Well, it's just as busy as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Trying to get out there, meet all the staff, have meetings, try to see where my cases are at, my staff, my personnel, etc. So trying to hit the ground running.
You know, we've seen an uptick during the pandemic in a certain amount of crimes. We've talked about it with the commissioner when he's been here. Has there been an increase in sex crimes in particular during the pandemic, or is it just underreported?
So right now we are actually down across the board in all aspects of sex crime. I would say I would attribute that to, yes, the pandemic and also the great work being done by the members of the Special Victims Division and also our patrol officers on the street.
So before we get into some changes being made to the actual unit, I want to talk about you because not only do you run SVU, but you're also a registered nurse, which you are able to bring such a unique experience now and background to this new position. So tell me, what made you actually want to get the nursing degree?
I was a paramedic before I joined the New York City Police Department. I had already started some of the prerequisites for school. And after 9/11, right after 9/11, I actually enrolled in nursing school, Phillips School of Nursing in Manhattan. And I went to school full-time. After a while working as a police officer full-time, I would go to school 7 in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then I would go over to Queens, to the Queens South Task Force where I was assigned, and I would work from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. and, back to school the next morning. I did that for about 2 years.
But so you're able to bring this perspective, this forensic nursing experience now to this new job, right? Because so many things begin in a hospital for sex assault victims in particular. So you're actually, in the first few days, I understand you were going to the hospital to see how doctors and nurses perform these rape kits, right?
So I performed the kits myself as a nurse. I did it for a few years in emergency rooms in Staten Island and Brooklyn. And my first day on the job, actually, I had a case in the Bronx where I had to respond there and assist with some of the aspects of the kit, yes.
So let's talk about what you can bring to this unit now, because there was this report by the Department of Investigation in 2018 that found that SVU was severely understaffed, right? That report recommended hiring additional 73 officers for the unit. So let me ask you, has that happened already? And how many detectives are currently working there?
So that has happened, and we have increased the number of investigators within the unit. We are just shy of about maybe 300 investigators. We are trying to get some more on board, but we did look at that report, and the police commissioner and the chief of detectives got together, and they actually, transferred in a high number of qualified applicants. And so I have to say, right now, staff-wise, we are doing very well.
And the report recommended additional training for officers as well, who were criticized, and you've spoken out about this, for not being sensitive enough to victims. You said yourself in a recent interview that you heard those stories from victims overall, that they weren't being taken seriously at times. So you would like to see some training now for beat cops who actually arrive first on the scene. Has that happened yet?
So I recently sat down with the chief of detectives. He likes the idea very much, and we have to speak to the chief of patrol. Our investigators in the Special Victims Division, they already have what's called the FETI trainings, Forensic Experiential Trauma Interview, which allows them to use a science-based technique that encompasses compassion and sensitivity and the knowledge of psychological trauma in order to interview survivors in a more holistic and a more effective way. And I would like to try to bridge that training over to patrol officers and have them experience that same type of training, because in my opinion, they're usually the first ones on scene to interview a survivor of sexual assault. And one bad interaction with the patrol officer might shut down a victim, and then we never get a chance to get that person the justice they deserve.
Also, that report recommended that all adult sex crimes needed to be investigated, including domestic rape and acquaintance rape, which are on the rise. Has that been implemented so far?
That has been implemented. We are actually investigating all aspects of sex crimes at this time.
And personally speaking, you know, you're a father of two as well, so you're a busy man, right? You got two teenagers back to what, remote learning?
Yes, my son is 16, my daughter is 10. You know, I have to say thank God my wife, who just retired from the NYPD, is actually home and able to assist them with the remote learning, because definitely I would not be able to do it in any role. So my hat is off to her. I thank her very much every day for that. But yes, you know, we are transitioning now into remote learning, and so far so good.
You know, I'm going to ask this because I'm obsessed with the TV show Law and Order SVU. How real is the TV show to real life?
I can tell you this, the dedication you see on TV with the investigators, that's the same dedication that we have within the real Special Victims Unit. And the cases are very, very similar. As heinous as you see them on TV, we are seeing the same thing in real life.
So many of them are ripped from the headlines, you know. Hey, thank you very much for joining us this morning. I appreciate your time, and you have a lot ahead of you, so good luck on the future in that unit.
Thank you very much.
All right.